Good morning, guys. This is Daryl with Lee's Lawn Care and Services. How y'all doing on this Wednesday morning? It's about 10 o'clock. I'm late, I know. Overslept as usual. Those two properties yesterday took a lot of fight out of me. But I'm ready to go today. Hopefully today will be a lot better day because these properties are nowhere near as big and it won't take nowhere near as long to do them. So looking forward to that. So how you guys doing, man? Hope you guys having a great start to the season. We're having a really good, strong start to the season. Not as strong as last year, because last year we did a ton of fence work that really put me over the top. And this year we're just mowing and doing the normal stuff that I expect. So these numbers are going to reflect not last year's numbers, but probably the year before last year. So, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. The business is still growing. We're still picking up customers, like crazy. And I can't even explain this stuff. And it's always like this. And so you got to watch yourself and hope you don't overdo this. Because I've done that many a times. Like, had so many that it was just too many. I got all the way up to almost 90 yards by myself, and I had to scale back. And I had to reinvent the plan that I had, because it's not about the amount of yards that you have to have a decent amount, but it's about the times that you go to these yards. And that is what the key is. That's how you turn your inventory. You hit every yard on your book for that week, or within those 2 weeks. That's how you turn your inventory. That's how you make your money. Not doing 1,000 yards a week, man, that's you just running yourself into the ground at that point. You don't want to run like that. I have friends that run like that, stressed out, burnt out, and just the whole reason you do the business is gone. It's not about, enjoying what you do anymore. It's about, hey, we got a number to hit, and if we don't hit this number, then we all can't eat, and that's you don't want to run. To me, that's just my opinion. You don't want to run your business like that, And I know guys that did that, and then sadly a couple of those guys not even in the business no more because they burnt out, they stressed out, and they took it a little bit too extreme, And I work with a guy. The guy I trained with, we were comfortable to a degree, but then he had his stuff he had to do, And so we did that. And then he started growing to the point where he had guys, and those guys were stealing from him and all that bad stuff, man. So, got to be careful about the company you keep. The guys that you run, that you have helping you in your business, man. They be looking at you, and they be looking at your stuff, And that's not a good recipe either, So that's something you got to keep in mind when you're hiring some of your people, man. Their backgrounds and what they do, man. It's very, very important. I have one guy that he wants to get in, he wants to do this work, and in the past, I gave him opportunities to work with us, and, it's just that he still needs a lot of training, a lot of seasoning, and he said he's willing to do it, so we'll see, we'll see. And a person can show you the type of person that they are just by working with them. And when you work with them, you kind of see some things where they are motivated to want to do, and then you see some things where they're just out there just to make a few dollars, And so, you don't expect everybody to have the same drive that you have, guys, because this is your business. You're building this, so you're passionate about what you do, and you're passionate about how you have things set up. But then there's other people that all they worry about is making a few bucks. And in my opinion, if somebody's always worried about making a few bucks, then they're gonna just float from pillar to post trying to make a few bucks, and it's not gonna work out for them because there's no consistency in it, and they're not committed to doing anything. So, and that's kind of what I told my wife too, because she was talking to me about some stuff, about some things she wanted to do, and I said, you have to be dedicated to what you're doing. You have to be committed to it, even though it may not be producing the results that you wanted to produce in the beginning. You gotta have some type of commitment to what you're trying to do in order for it to pay off. You know, you gotta be dedicated. You gotta take those bad days with those good days. That just comes with the territory, you know. And then when you grow to a certain point to where everything is bright for you, then you look back on what you've done and you're like, man, I remember those days I went out there in the rain. Man, I remember those days when I had nothing but push mowers. Man, I remember those days when I used some of the cheapest stuff that I had. Man, I remember those days when I used the equipment that was just given to me, you know, or given to you by somebody. Hey, you need a mower? Well, here, take this. You know, because somebody was just being genuine. Hey, you can have this if you need this to do whatever, you know. Hey, I remember those days, you know, I had to borrow a truck, you know, because my truck was down for a while, and I borrowed family, you know, lend me her truck, no problem, here, take it. You know, no questions asked, just take it. But yeah, man, I mean, you appreciate that stuff a whole lot more because you're dedicated to your craft and what you're doing, and that pays off. So that's my time for today, man. I'm not gonna keep you too long today, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you decide to do something, whatever business you decide to do, be dedicated to it. Put the time in, you know, and there's gonna be bad days. That's just part of it. But there's gonna be good days too if you stick with it. Take care, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.